Hello students, welcome back. I am Parul Parmar and today I have brought a new grammar topic for you all, that is lesson number 2, singular and plural nouns. In the last session we had studied different kinds of nouns. Yes or no? Common noun, proper noun, abstract nouns, collective nouns. In this lesson we will be studying singular nouns and plural nouns. Now what is singular noun and plural nouns? Let's have a look. Singular noun, it refers to one person, idea or thing. Anything which is one. It can be one person, one idea or one thing. For example, Ajit bought a gift for his sister. Now can you identify the noun in this sentence? Okay, gift. Here gift is a singular noun. What is Ajit doing? Ajit bought a gift for his sister. Ajit bought only one gift. So it is a singular noun. But if I say plural noun, it refers to more than one person, idea or thing. More than one thing or idea or person means it can be 2, 3 or multiple items. Yes or no? For example, Ajit bought many gifts for his sister. Now here noun is, gift is a noun and have added s at the end of the word to make it plural form. So gift will become gifts. And here Ajit bought many gifts. So it can be 2 gifts, 3 gifts or multiple. Yes or no? So gift will become gifts. So what is a singular noun? It refers to one thing, person or idea, and plural noun refers to more than one thing, person or idea. Now let us look at some more examples of singular and plural nouns. Look at some more examples of singular noun and plural nouns. On this side I have written all the singular nouns and on this side I have written all the plural nouns. Now first, bed. Bed is a thing, a noun, a singular noun. So bed will become beds. How? By just adding s at the end of the word. So bed will become beds. Chair will become chairs by just adding s at the end of the word. Similarly, school will become schools. Train will become trains and cat will become cats. Now you will say, ma'am, can we add only s at the end of the word to make it plural form? To that I will say no. We can add s, ves, ies and many more to make a singular noun into a plural noun. For that there are 10 rules. So you all are ready to study all those 10 rules? Let us start. Very first rule. Rule number 1. To most nouns, just add s. What we will add? We will add just s. For example, chair. Chair will become chairs by just adding s. Picture will become pictures by just adding s at the end of the word. So for most of the nouns, we can add s to make it a plural form. Now let us study rule number 2. Rule number 2 says, if noun ends in s, ss, x, ch or sh, if the words or the nouns are ending in all these, what can we add? We will add es. What will we add? We will add es. Let us look at the examples. If I say bus, it is ending in s. So for that noun, we can add es. So bus will become buses. If the noun is ending in ss, for example, loss, loss will become losses by adding es at the end of the word. Next is x. For example, box. Box is ending in x, the letter x. So box will become boxes by just adding es at the end of the noun. Next, wish. Wish is ending in sh. Yes or no? So now, for that we will add es. So what? Wish will become wishes. Church. Church is ending in ch. So this will become churches by adding es at the end of the word. So I hope you have understood rule number 2. The nouns which are ending in s, ss, x, ch or sh, we will add es at the end of the words to make it plural form. Let us study rule number 3. What does it say? If a noun ends in y, if the noun is ending in y, if the last letter is y, and there is a consonant before the y, Now you know what are the consonants? Yes or no? If there is a consonant before the Y, we drop Y and add IES. What do you mean by drop Y? We will cut the Y and we will add IES at the end of the word. For example, baby. Now the word is ending in Y and there is a consonant before the Y. B is a consonant. Yes or no? So what we will do? We will cut the Y and we will add IES to make it a plural form. So here baby will become babies by cutting the Y and by adding IES. Same way, lady. The noun is ending in Y and there is a consonant before the Y. So what we will do? We will cut the Y and we will add IES to make it a plural form. So lady will become ladies. Now let us look at rule number 4. What does it say? If a noun ends in Y and there is a vowel before Y, add S. Now this rule is opposite of this rule. Here also the noun is ending in Y, but if there is a vowel before the Y, we will not cut the S, we will just add S. For example, boy. It is ending in Y and there is a vowel before Y. Whenever you see this type of situation, we will not cut the Y, we will just add S at the end of the word to make it plural form. Boy will become boys. Similarly, toy. Here, toy is ending in Y. There is a vowel before the Y, O. So what we will do? We will cut Y? No, we will remain as it is and we will just add S at the end of the word to make it plural form. So toy will become toys. So I hope you have understood rule number 3 and 4. Now let us look at rule number 5. What does it say? If the noun ends in F or FE, if the last letter is F or FE, what we will do? We will drop the F and FE and add VES. For example, knife. The word knife is ending in FE. So what we will do? We will cut the FE and we will add VES to make it a plural form. So knife will become knives. Similarly with the leaf. Leaf is ending in F. So what we will do? We will cut the F and we will add VES. So leaf will become leaves. To make it a plural form, what we will add? We will add VES in the rule number 5. So I hope you have understood rule number 5. Now let us go to rule number 6. What does it say? If the noun ends in O, if the last letter is O, add ES. Now in this rule, we don't have to cut anything or drop anything. We have to just add ES. For example, mango. Mango is ending in O. So what we will do? We will add ES to make it a plural form. For example, tomato. Tomato is also ending in O. So we will add ES to make it a plural form. So in this rule, we have to add just ES if the noun is ending in O to make it a plural form. Now let us look at some more rules. Rule number 7. What does it say? Some nouns remain unchanged. Now what do you mean by unchanged? For example, sheep. Sheep will remain sheep only. We cannot add S or IES or VES to make it plural form. It remains unchanged. Sheep will remain sheep. Deer will become deer. Aircraft will remain aircraft. So what does it say? It says some nouns remain unchanged in their plural form also. Now let us look at rule number 8. What does it say? Some nouns change in irregular manner. Now what do you mean by irregular manner? For example, here also we don't have to add S or VES or IES to make it plural form. It changes in irregular manner. It does not remain same also like previous one. Ox will become oxen. Here ox will not remain ox or ox will not become oxes by adding S or VES. Ox will become oxen. Foot will become feet. So here nouns are changing in irregular manner. These two rules are something different. We are not adding S, IES or VES, or we are not dropping the F or FE or Y. We are saying some nouns remain unchanged and here some nouns change in irregular manner. Here it remains unchanged, and here they are changing in irregular manner. For example, ox will become oxen, foot will become feet. Now we will study rule number 9. What does it say? Some nouns always remain plural. Now you will say, how does it always remain plural? Let us look at the examples. Scissors. Now have you heard anyone saying scissor? No, they are always scissors. Scissors will remain scissors even in the singular form or plural form. Clothes will remain clothes. Have you heard anyone saying cloth? No. Clothes, scissors, these are the nouns which always remain plural. Now let us look at the last rule, rule number 10. What does it say? Sometimes the plural is formed by adding the s to the main word in a compound word. Now what is a compound word? For example, son-in-law. Now we will add s to the main word. What is the main word? Son. So we will add sons-in-law to make it plural form. Let me repeat. Sometimes the plural is formed by adding s to the main word in the compound word. Whenever you face this type of situation, we will add s at the main word to form plural. So son-in-law will become sons-in-law. So I hope you have understood all those 10 rules. Students, let us look at the exercise. What does it say? Change the nouns in plurals. Means here singular nouns are given, we have to change the singular nouns into plural form. For example, that knife is blunt. Can you identify the noun, singular noun over here? Yes, knife is singular noun. So we have to change the singular noun into plural form. How will we change? Knife will become knives. Those knives are blunt. Now, here we have changed the verb also, because what is the verb over here? Is we have changed into are. Why? Because in singular verb we use is, and for plural verb we will use are. So whenever we are changing from singular to plural, we will make the other necessary changes also by changing the verbs in the sentence. For example, is will become are, because here knife has become knives. We have cut fe and we have added ves to the noun. So that will become those, knife will become knives, is will become are. So there are many changes in the sentence. Second, the child took part in the debate. Now can you identify the singular noun in this sentence? Yes, child. So your child will become children. Which rule we are applying over here? Rule number 8. Some nouns change in irregular manner. Child will become children. The children took part in the debate. Okay. Third, the policeman was running after the thief. Now can you identify the singular noun in this sentence? Yes, policeman. So policeman will become policemen. Here we cannot add s or ves, or we cannot cut anything, but we have to change the singular noun man to men. So it will become the policeman was running after the thief. Now tell me, what else changes I have to make in this sentence? Yes, the verb. Was is a verb. If I have changed from singular to plural, was will become were. So now the sentence will be, the policemen were running after the thief. What we have changed? We have changed the verbs also. I hope you have understood these examples. In the previous exercise, we have changed singular to plural nouns. But in this exercise, we will be changing the plurals into their singular form. Let's have a look. The dwarfs were friendly creatures. Here there are plural forms. Yes or no? Dwarfs, creatures, and the verb were. So we have to change the three things in this sentence. So let's change. Dwarfs will become dwarf. The dwarf word will become was. The dwarf was a friendly. Creatures will become creature. Understood how to change from plural to singular? Second, the ponies were tired after the journey uphill. Now identify the plural noun in this. Yes, ponies and were. So we have to make two changes in this sentence. Ponies will become pony. Were will become was. The pony was tired after the journey uphill. Okay? Third, you must change your toothbrushes every month. Now can you tell me what is the plural verb in this? Yes, toothbrushes. Toothbrushes will become toothbrush. Any other changes you see in this sentence? No. Okay. Now, can you see the rules are applied over here? For example, toothbrushes. The word is ending in sh. So, what did we add? We added es to make it plural form. Here also, ponies. Here the noun was ending in y and there was a consonant before the y. So, we cut the y and we add ies to make it plural form. In the first sentence again, the noun was ending in s. So, we cut the s and we make creature to make it singular form. Same goes with dwarfs. Dwarfs will become dwarf. So, I hope you have understood how to change from plural to singular and singular to plural. One more important point. Countable nouns can be singular and plural both. For example, bird. It is singular and it can be a plural also. Bird can become birds. Book can become books. So, countable nouns can be singular and plural both. But for uncountable nouns, they are always singular. For example, air. Do we say airs? Do we say waters? Do we say informations? Do we say musics? No. These all are always in their singular form. So, uncountable nouns are always in their singular form. They cannot be made plural. And for countable nouns, they can be singular and plural both. More examples of countable and uncountable nouns. Here, eggs. Can we count eggs? Yes, so it is a countable noun. Bananas. Can we count bananas? Yes, of course we can count bananas, so it is a countable noun. Similarly, apples, carrots. We can use some expressions like some before apples to form a countable noun. I can say some apples, so apples can be counted. Bananas. Few bananas, I can say. Same way, if I say uncountable nouns, look at uncountable nouns. What is milk? Can we count milk? No, milk is an uncountable noun. Same way goes with sugar. Can we count sugar? No, so sugar is also an uncountable noun. Same way goes with money and cheese. Can we count all these nouns? No, we cannot count, so these are uncountable nouns. But what expressions we can use with these uncountable nouns? For example, milk. I can say some milk. For money, I can say enough money. Yes or no? For cheese, I can say any cheese. So the expressions some and any can be used with both countable and uncountable nouns to form any sentence. Let us look at some more examples of countable nouns and uncountable nouns. What important points we need to keep in mind? For countable nouns, we can use singular verb and plural verb. What happens is, for example, the book is old. Your book is a singular noun. For singular noun, we will use singular verb is. And for plural noun, books, we can use plural verb. But it cannot happen in countable nouns because countable noun always have a singular verb only. For example, sugar is sweet. Here sugar is an uncountable noun. For uncountable nouns, we will use only singular verb, that is. So, sugar is sweet will be the correct form. Now, another important point to remember is, cannot use a, an or a number before uncountable nouns. For example, rice. Rice is an uncountable noun. Yes or no? We cannot use a before uncountable nouns. We cannot use an before uncountable noun or any number. For example, 2 rice. 2 is incorrect. We cannot use a, an or a number before any uncountable nouns. Same way goes with bread and 2 bread. We cannot use a, an or a number before uncountable nouns. So these are the small things which we need to keep in mind while forming a. I know students, many of you must be confused where to use much and where to use many. So let's clear it out. Where to use much? We use much with the uncountable nouns. For example, I don't have much time. Here, what is uncountable noun? Time. Yes or no? We cannot count time. So for that, we will use expression much. I don't have much time. Second, does it use much electricity? Now, can we count electricity? No. Here, electricity is an uncountable noun. So for that, we use expression much. Much electricity. Understood? Now, we will see where to use many. We will use many with plural countable nouns. Now, what is plural countable nouns? Let's have a look. There aren't many chairs in the room. Now, can you find the plural noun in this sentence? Yes, chairs. Chairs is a plural noun. So, but we can count the number of chairs in the room. So, it is plural countable nouns. So, for plural countable nouns, we will use expression many. There aren't many chairs in the room. We cannot use much over here. We have to use many. Why? Because it is a plural countable noun. Second, I don't have many friends. Here, friends is countable nouns. Yes, but what? Plural countable nouns. Friends is a plural noun. Plus, we can count number of friends. Yes or no? So, for that, we can use expression many. I don't have many friends. So, I hope you have understood where to use much and many. We will use much with uncountable nouns. Whenever you find a sentence and you have to find out what is an uncountable noun, we will use expression much. And whenever you form a sentence of plural countable nouns, we will use expression many. Now let us see where to use few and little. We will use few in plural countable nouns. Now, what are plural countable nouns? I already told you. He has few good friends. Here, friends is a plural noun, but we can count number of friends, so it is a plural countable nouns. And for plural countable nouns, we will use expression few. Okay? Now, where to use little? We use little with uncountable nouns. So, in this sentence, can you identify the uncountable noun? There was little time to finish it. Yes, time is an uncountable noun. So, for uncountable noun, we will use expression little. Okay? So, I hope you are clear with where to use few and little. Let's look at exercise C. Underline the countable nouns and circle the uncountable nouns. Okay? First one. Most children love ice cream. Now we have to find out what is countable noun and what is uncountable noun in this. So let us find. Okay. Children. What is children? Countable nouns? Yes. So we will underline the countable nouns and what is uncountable noun in this sentence? Yes. Very good. Ice cream. So we will circle ice cream. Second. The teacher carried 2 books with her. Now you tell me what is countable noun and what is uncountable noun in this sentence. Okay, we do not find any uncountable nouns, but we find countable nouns. So what are countable nouns? Teacher, okay, teacher is a countable noun. And books, okay, books, because we can count 2 books, so it is a countable noun. So teacher and book is a countable noun in this sentence. Third, we cannot survive without food and water. Now you tell me what is countable noun and what is uncountable noun. Okay, we do not find any countable noun in this sentence, but we have uncountable noun. So what is uncountable noun? Very good. Food and water is uncountable noun. Last one. Shalini's hair is very long. Here, can you find uncountable and countable nouns? Okay, there is an uncountable noun in this sentence. Hair. Hair is an uncountable noun. So we will circle hair. So I hope you have understood how to do this exercise. We have to underline the countable nouns and circle the uncountable nouns. Now let us look at exercise D. Underline the correct words. First, the carpenter does not earn much money or many money. Now can you tell me the correct answer? Okay, much money. Why? Because money is uncountable noun. For uncountable nouns we use expression much. Where do we use expression money? For plural countable nouns. Second, do you have many information about the missing boy? Now, what is the noun over here? Information. Information is uncountable noun. Yes or no? So, for uncountable noun, what expression will we use? For many or any? Many we use for plural countable nouns. And information is not a plural countable noun. So, for information we will use expression any. Any and some can be used with uncountable nouns and countable nouns both. The last sentence, the child had some milk or few milk before he went to sleep. Can you give me the correct answer? Yes, we can try. Some milk or few milk. Few we use with plural countable nouns, and milk is not a countable noun, it is an uncountable noun. So we will use expression some. The child had some milk before he went to sleep. So I hope you have understood this. So in this lesson we have studied what are countable nouns, uncountable nouns, singular nouns and plural nouns. I hope you have understood the concept. We will be meeting the next session with another new topic. Till then, thank you. Bye-bye.